Greetings and welcome to the Friday edition of the Istanbul's Everyday English podcast. I am your host, Natalie. Now, this week we talked about mindset, and I wanted to mention that yes, the name of this podcast is Istanbul's Everyday English. But whether you live in Istanbul or not, I still am making content that will be useful for anyone, no matter if you live in Istanbul or Turkey or another country. Yes, I am using Turkish as a language to contrast English. Absolutely. However, non-Turkish speakers who are ESL learners can also benefit from a lot of what I'm saying in these podcasts. That's because you would be able to take what I'm saying and apply it to your own language. So for instance, during the week that I talked about sentence structure, you could look at the Turkish sentence structure and then wonder and consider, how do I form a sentence in my own language? Locate the sentence in your language. I say that a lot to my students. Locate the word or the sentence structure in your own language. So for instance, if I say in English, which we're going to talk about next week, I go to school, what do you say in your language? What word are you using for to? Now, when I talk about prepositions next week, think about it. Think about what you would say if you said, I go to school. Do you even have a word like to? Do you simply say, I go school? This is how you locate the English that you're trying to speak with what you would say in your own language. I don't believe we should do one-for-one translation, but I do believe we need to know what we're saying in our own language to understand what we would say in English, which is our target language. Okay, so this week we talked about mindset. On Monday, we talked about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. This means that a growth mindset is an individual like myself. I believe that I can do it. No matter what I'm doing, whether I'm learning a language or I'm creating content for YouTube or I'm studying for a master's degree or I'm being a parent or I'm starting a workout program, I believe that I can do it. I don't worry about mistakes. I don't worry if I don't get it right. I don't worry about feeling embarrassed. It's all part of the process. And my growth mindset tells me that this is a process and I will follow the process and I will succeed. I heard on a podcast one day, the woman who was being interviewed, she had started a very successful business, which she later sold for many millions of dollars. And she said that her perfectionism, wanting to do everything perfectly, actually was about to stop her from starting her business. And then someone said to her, look, it's about progress, not perfection. I'll say it again. It's about progress, not perfection. When you start out in life, you're not perfect at anything. You become perfect. Now, you might have a talent. I maybe have a talent for language. Good for me. But if I do nothing with that talent, if I don't try to progress in that talent, it's meaningless. It's not going to help me. So go through the process. Know that by following the process, you will get to a great English level. I know you will. I have many students who have done it. And I have done it myself with different languages too. Now, on Tuesday, we talked about what you need to succeed in learning English. And that is a very simple thing. You need to practice every day. You need to look at English content every day. You need to do something in English every day. I know people don't want to hear that. I know people want to think that they can join some platform and have English classes once a week and come out of it speaking English. You won't. It's impossible. You need to listen, speak, read, learn words, grammar, understand grammar. And you need to do it every day. I talked about how it takes about 600 to 750 hours of learning and practice to learn a language. That's 1 hour a day for 2 years. So let's make it 2 hours a day for 1 year. And then you can speak English very quickly. I mean, I think a year is pretty quick in the grand scheme of your life. We talked about all the different things that you can do on a daily basis, and you can go back and look at that video. We also talked about ambiguity. Now that means not knowing. So you need to be comfortable with not knowing. This goes back to growth mindset, and this goes back to perfection. If you understand 70 to 80% of what you are viewing or learning, that's good enough. That's all you need, because you have this amazing ability to learn implicitly. And we talked about implicit learning. How when I was a kid, I learned to read and you learned to read, and maybe we read a book and we saw a word. We didn't know what that word meant. But when you're a kid, like I said, before the internet, before Google Amca, as we say in Turkey, Google Uncle, I wasn't running to my dad's study and getting a dictionary and looking up the word. I just skimmed over it. And then later on, I would be reading another book with this word in, and I would go, oh, that's that word again. And maybe it would give me another hint. It would give me more context. And then again, until eventually I understood the word. I understood the meaning of the word, the feeling of the word. Words are about meaning, not about grammar. They're not about grammar, they're about meaning. It's like words like cozy. It's really cold in Canada today. I'm wearing a very cozy sweater, a very warm sweater. My aunt made this sweater, and she gave it to my sister, and then my sister didn't wear it. It was too big for her or something. She gave it to me, and when I wear it on very cold days like today, minus 25, it's so warm and cozy. I remember my aunt. I feel warm. I feel cozy. If you don't know what the word is, go look it up. Locate it in your language. Go on ChatGPT and say, translate the word cozy, that's C-O-Z-Y. You'll see it in the captions. I just realized that. For meaning into Turkish or Portuguese or Arabic or whatever your mother tongue is. Translate it for meaning. I've used Google Translate. I've used ChatGPT. They both make mistakes. You have to say, translate this word, sentence, whatever, for meaning into your mother tongue. And then ChatGPT will come up with different ideas, and you can experiment a bit. And you will understand the feeling of the word, because I'm sure you have the same word in your own language that will give you a feeling. I'm going to go over some of the things that you can do and some of the websites I use. I want to make clear I don't have anything to do with these websites other than I use them. And I want to also say, if you don't like what I'm recommending, that's fine. Just take the idea from me and find what you like, what speaks to you. Okay, so this is my Duolingo that you're seeing, and I've got it set to Italian. So let's just start with this. I'm going to say practice. Okay. All right, there's a little out. Okay, so it says select matching pairs. So I know men are
uomini,
they are
loro,
read is
Leggiamo.
leggiamo.
voi,
Okay, now write. To write is scrivi.
scrivi,
I don't know this. I haven't learned this one. To think, okay? Think. I know it's
pensare,
pensare. Men,
Uomini.
uomini. We, noi.
noi,
Yeah. Girl, ragazza.
Ragazza.
And read is leggio, I think. It didn't say it. Okay.
lei ha le forchette,
Then there's an opportunity to speak. So we've got our vocabulary in there. I'm going to speak now. Lei ha le forchette. Okay, yeah, she has the forks. Okay. Again, I've got select the matching pairs. They,
Loro.
boys,
Ragazzi.
apple,
Mela.
girl,
Ragazza.
boy, ragazzo. Okay. So they,
Scrivete.
okay, scrivete. It means write, right? Okay. Good night. Buonanotte.
Buonanotte.
Okay, you get the point. So much you can do with Duolingo. Okay, I love it. I love it. Maybe that bored you, but whatever. Duolingo is a game. It is programming your mind. Okay, so that's Duolingo. I could go on and on. It's not important for you to see my Italian skills. But what I'm trying to say is I don't speak Italian well. I just don't. I'm trying to learn. I do a bit of Italian on Duolingo every day at the end of my day, and I enjoy it. When I finish the Italian course on Duolingo, I will definitely find an Italian teacher on a platform and get them to teach me other things. But Duolingo is a great way to start, and it's a great thing to practice every day. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you my next one. Now, another website I use all the time is the British Council Learn English Online. Okay, it's the British Council. I love this site. Now, there's one for children, one for teens, and one for adults. What I like about this website is the skills, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. I use the skills with my students, and then there's grammar, which, if you're just starting out, and then vocabulary, if you're just starting out, and then you have general English, video zone, audio zone, magazine zone, story zone. These are good places like story zone. You can read. And remember I said about reading out loud? Okay, so this is A1. There's some preparation, and it's just vocabulary. So you're going to learn the vocabulary for the story, and then you'll start reading the text and read out loud. Dr. Thomas Strayer looked around the control room at his team of scientists and engineers. He was excited and frightened, but he tried to seem calm. In a few minutes, they might discover something amazing. How the universe began. Now you go through, you read that, and then it's pretty long for A1, A2, and then there's 2 tasks, true or false. And this one, I think you order what happens. Put the events in the order. Okay, that's Learn British Council. I love this website. It's very, very useful, and it's free. I like free things. And then we have Voice of America. I really like this website. It's American. And you have a lot of lessons in the first level, about 50. And the second level has about 30. Now, all it is you watch a video.
Hi, are you Anna?
Yes. Hi there. Are you Pete?
I am Pete.
Nice to meet you.
Listen. Hi.
Okay, so you watch the video. This is the most basic one. And then you do some speaking practice, pronunciation, and this is the kicker that I love. Listening and reading at the same time.
Hi, are you Anna?
Yes. Hi there. Are you Pete?
I am Pete.
Nice to meet you. Let's try that again. I'm Anna. Nice to meet you.
The great thing about reading and listening at the same time is that your eyes are seeing the words, so they're creating a visual picture of the word, and your ears are hearing that word. So your ears hear hi, and in your brain you get a vision of the word hi. Just try it now. If I say hi, you're seeing the visual picture of the word hi in your brain, and this really helps learning. And then there's a little quiz. So this is a great, great website. It starts at, welcome, hello, how are you? and it gets quite sophisticated. So this is another website I really like. Again, it's free. Now let's talk about Udemy. Again, I just want to make sure I don't get money from any of these people or companies. But I just am showing you things that I've used. So Udemy is like an online university, and I do different things on it. I'm not recommending any of these courses or not. I'm just showing you. So my daughter has a couple French courses. I have an English course for Turkish learners. I've got a Turkish course, which is good. YouTube Academy, that was pretty good. Haven't finished it yet. I've got a piano course. This is very good. Neuroplasticity. I'm very interested in psychology. And so these are all my courses. Drawing course, fiction writing course. They're not expensive, but there's some really good courses that you can use for language learning. And just search, learn English. It's going to come up with courses for your area. Udemy will know like where you're dialing in from. So here are some English courses. Again, I don't know about any of these courses because I know English. I'm not using them. But I mean, look at this course, 34,000 people. Oh, I love it. Learn to start thinking in English. I don't know who wrote this course, but this is what I'm talking about. You're getting it for free. But things like that, there's all sorts of amazing things to learn, and some of them are not that expensive. You can have a look at Udemy if you want a paid option, if you want to add that to your repertoire. So finally, we have YouTube. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. There are so many people on YouTube. I use YouTube to teach. I want to draw your attention to this channel. It's Steve and Maggie. Now, Steve and Maggie is for kids, okay? But the reason I like Steve and Maggie is A, it's very entertaining, and B, the way he organizes his videos is very good. And if you have children, I encourage you to just, if they want to watch some content, say, okay, you can watch a show, but you have to watch one Steve and Maggie video. I've had lots of students that have learnt English with this channel. So what I like about Steve and Maggie is he will say phrases over and over again. What animal is it? It is a pig. What animal is it? It is a cow. What animal is it? It is a horse. So then you start learning vocabulary and you start learning phrases. What is it? It is. So that's great. And I also mention this because a lot of my students say, I am so tired, Natalie, after my working day. And I say, I agree. I understand. So if you put on something like Steve and Maggie, you're not really having to think about it. You don't have to really even pay that much attention. But you do start to absorb. You listen to the same thing over and over again, and this helps you learn. So those are my different hacks, the channels that I use. I want to give you that. I want to explain to you what channels I use because there's so much information out there. I'm sure I'm missing things that are really good that I don't know about. If you know any good sites that you use, please put them in the comments. Help me, teach me. I'm sure I can always learn. I'm learning every day. Growth mindset. If you have any websites or content creators that you really like, comment below and tell me. I'm very interested to know. All right, that is our Friday edition of Istanbul's Everyday English. I've had a great week. I hope you've had a great week. I've had a lot of fun this week with creating this content. I hope that it's useful for you. I believe it's useful for you because it's useful for my students. So if you're trying to learn English, there you go. There are some hacks from a person who's taught thousands of people. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Come back next week where we are going to do, wait for it, prepositions. Prepositions are hard in any language. I know. I screw them up all the time. And prepositions are something that all of my students, no matter what language they speak, struggle with. So let's get you thinking, just like that course we saw. That looks really interesting. Let's get you thinking about prepositions, understanding them on a deep level. And then you never have to go, well, do I say I was in the bus? I was on the bus? I was at the bus? I was to the bus? I can't even think. I was for the bus? I was with the bus? No. We are going to teach you how to think about prepositions, and you will never have to make a mistake again. I promise. I'm going to give you some visuals to go along with it, and hopefully this will be the key to cure you of your preposition problems. Preposition problems. I call it pesky prepositions. There, that's a word you can look up in ChatGPT. Translate the word pesky, P-E-S-K-Y, for meaning into your own language. Okay, have a great weekend, and I'll see you hopefully on Monday, or you'll come back hopefully on Monday and see me. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for listening, and comment below if I've missed some great resources on the internet that would help me help my students. Thank you so much. Bye.